Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 We Review. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the rather loud Sin and Punishment Successor of the Skies, which if you've never played it before, it's an Unreal shooter with some cool boss fights which aren't really on rails at times, and sometimes you find yourself having almost hack and slash at enemies like the first one, which that's what I was getting around to as well, the fact that it is actually the second game in the series. I have reviewed the first one on the N64 that was released on the VC and I absolutely loved it, and you may be wondering why it's taken so long to get the review of this one done. It's because, well, this is very similar to the first one in the fact that it's very short. And that's not to say that it's not a very good game, it's just it really is a very short game, and it's a bit of a disappointment because my brother actually bought it when it came out and he loved it. He played through it. He didn't even play the original yet. He loved this. I don't think I've ever seen him play it, let alone beat the original, but he bought this, played it, loved it, but he beat it too fast, and that's pretty much what I was getting to. It was very short and we thought it wasn't worth full price game, so he sold it for a little less than he actually bought it for, and then I've waited ages to buy it back myself, and unfortunately it meant I didn't get the review done until now because I've bought it for a tenner, and I think it's a fair price. As great a game as it is, when it's only got 10 stages that it's not going to take you all that long to beat, you don't want to pay a fortune for it. Anyway, at the start when you go into your profile, which I've gone into an early file, you get single player, 2 player, you can go into options, and this is going to confuse a hell of a lot of people, and I swear this is a Wii game. I mean, you can probably see the little Wii remote and nunchuck icons there in the bottom left corner, just over there, and I swear it really is a Wii game. I'm not like doing a joke, I'm not having a prank or anything, but this is a Wii game where you actually get a choice, and I just want to let that sink in for a little bit. But you do get a full choice. I mean, you can choose Wii Remote and Nunchuck, Classic Controller, GameCube Controller, Wii Zapper, and when you go in, you get pretty much full customization of everything you wanted to do. You can invert your Y-axis, you can invert your Y-axis on vertical movement or character movement, you can choose which stick you want for your character movement, you can choose your reticle speed, you can choose which button you shoot with and whether or not you have to squeeze the trigger or not squeeze it, you can choose the sensitivity for when you do decide to squeeze, you can just choose your rumble on and off. It's just all sorts. You get such a huge choice, and that is so unlike a Wii game, it's unbelievable. But it gets better when you go into the game, and to be fair, I know I said I was on an early file, I'm going to have to hit new game in order to actually show this. Yes. You get a choice of difficulty level right from the start, and I mean that's mind blowing, that is. I mean, it really is, to have this sort of choice on a Wii game. I mean, you expect it on the other consoles, but it makes you feel like you know, like, kind of like you're being treated like royalty, because you get a choice, so you can choose hard if you really like a challenge, or if you just want to get to the end and see the entire story and don't want any challenge or fun whatsoever, then you can put it on easy. So let's go for hard, and I'll die like a bitch on the review because I can't concentrate, but still, it's hard. So there is story and cutscenes on the game and that, and one of the things I was saying earlier is that there are 10 stages, and that is all you get. You get stage 0, then 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I think I messed that up. 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. But just because you only get 10 stages doesn't mean you only get a few bosses, because the game is riddled with bosses just like the original. They're all over the place, and to be fair, this is a pretty good sequel. I don't think it's as good as the original game, but I do really like it. The only problem with starting at the very start is obviously I'm getting these tutorial messages that I'm just having to skip. But you pretty much, well, if you played Sin and Punishment 1, you'll jump straight into this and you should be able to get right on and play with the game. You can dodge, you can do your melee attacks, you can charge up your shots, which, there we go, I put it as the left trigger, I thought I had it as ear, my mistake. You can charge up your shots and that, and you can fly on this little hoverboard thing. There's 2 characters to choose from, but I'll be honest, I've only ever actually beat the game on 1 character, so I don't really know if there's much of a difference. So I suppose I'll cut into the other character now and have a quick look. Well, the answer to that is yes. It's one of those things that'll sound stupid, but whenever I beat the game, I've always just picked a character and then I've then stuck with that character. But yes, Isa, and I hope I pronounced that right, Isa's charge shot will explode on impact and cover a large area. In addition to the targeted enemies, surrounding enemies will also be greatly damaged, whereas Kachi's charge shot has the lock-on function. The charge gauge increases as you are locked onto an enemy. You can target multiple enemies by locking on up to 8 at once, or you can concentrate your attack on a single target. So, I suppose now I know, knowing is half the battle and all, as I think it was G.I. Joe that said that. All I know is I watch Family Guy and it's on there. So, I suppose the only other difference really is graphical, because I no longer have a hoverboard, so I no longer feel like I'm playing Back to the Future or anything, which is kind of the main reason why I chose Kachi, because I used to quite like, well, I still do like Back to the Future, so I quite like playing on a hoverboard. But gameplay wise, other than the charge shot, there's nothing really much. It's just, again, graphical and the fact that one of you is a blue male and the other's a pink female. So, back to the gameplay. As I was saying, it is pretty much just like you'd expect with the first game. You get a load of little enemies in little sections, and you're always being pushed towards the next objective even, when I put my teeth in, right? It's just basically you can move around the screen and aim and that. You don't choose your course or anything, it just takes you to there. And you get a timer in the top left corner, which is the white bar which is going down. You get a multiplier, and the whole point is you want to be playing for a high score. Once you've beat the game, you want to rebeat it for that. It is basically a quick, fun, action arcade high score style game. It's why the original was so great, but I was glad I only paid 1200 points for it. Whereas, same with this, I'm glad that I bought it back for a tenner, because I don't think it's worth full price, because it is very short and you can only really beat it a few times in a row without putting it away for a couple of weeks or months while you decide that you fancy playing it again. Your energy's in the bottom left corner, and as you can see, I've just been hit there. I'll get hit again, and it's not a case of 100 energy means 100 hits. You'll lose different energy depending on your enemies that you're fighting. The bottom right corner shows how many you've destroyed. It is, interface-wise and that, it is really good. The user interface and everything is great. It's user-friendly, it's simple. You can see everything on the screen that's important, but at the same time it's not obtrusive. It doesn't really get in your way or anything. It's always a quick flick of the eyes away to be able to see it. And as I say, it doesn't get in your way. It's just an excellent game. It's one of those that doesn't really do justice when you talk about it or when you really see it. I remember with the original, I watched an hour of footage just thinking, why do people like this game? And eventually I thought, the only way I'm going to know is if I buy it, and now it's one of my all-time favourite N64 games. I absolutely love playing it. It just looks terrible when you watch footage of it. And hell, there's some people out there who thinks it looks great and plays great, and I'm sure there's some people out there who thought it looked great and it plays terrible for them. So it's just one of those. Now that it is cheap and you can pick it up easy in second-hand stores, it's definitely worth a look. For hell, supporting the fact that you get a choice alone. Tell your friends, you know, get everyone rave about the fact that there's a choice, and maybe with the Wii U will actually get a choice for once. The only other things I suppose I can see is, graphically it is pretty good for a Wii game. Musically and everything about the sounds in the game really I think are excellent. You might have already noticed when I've been killing things, I've been collecting things like coins and collecting health and that. So there will be a few things that you have to keep an eye out for, because they don't always stay there. There was a time when I really needed health. The box landed to my right and I just didn't have enough time to get there before the screen moved me on. So when you see health, get health really, I suppose the best thing to say. And you can, obviously, I'm trying to show, there we go, you can still reflect projectiles back when using the melee attack, just like you could in the first game. But I think I have said everything I can say now. I'll just shut up for a little bit of that awesome music. well, that was a little bit of the music. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. And also some boss footage, because I didn't really expect to be able to show one off as early. I completely forgot about this because I'm further into the game. But it's one of those bosses pretty much work as you expect. You need to find where to shoot, you need to dodge their attacks, you need to kick the crap out of them. Their energy bar appears at the top of the screen so you know how far you are to killing them. And the timer, I forgot to mention, is mainly for bonus points and that, so you don't really have to worry unless you're going for a good high score. But that really is everything I can think of to say. Yet again, just to reiterate, it's an amazing game, well worth picking up now that it's cheap. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.